So I'm delighted this evening to be with Andrew MacDonald. In fact, I will be with Andrew in just over 3 weeks' time, or depending when you're listening to this video, September the 30th. Andrew, most people know your experience of commercial, being a commercial agent for the last 25 plus years. Of course, the headline yesterday, on the 7th of September, in the Metro newspaper, was about 50 shops a day closing in the UK, which for me is a staggering amount. But we will go beyond the headlines, both in this short video and also in the much longer presentation or longer presentation in September as well. You just want to give some balance about the number 50 and about that headline as well.
Yes, I mean, we're coming to the end of furlough now, aren't we? And the sort of propping up of retailers and various initiatives thrown down by the government to keep retail afloat. So it's inevitable, really. And you know, walking around London as I have been over the last few days, it does seem busier. But you know, the reality bites. The sticking plaster has been taken off. You know, the people are going to be left to stand on their own 2 feet now without government support. So, you know, reality is biting. 50, I know 50 can sound a lot, but if you just imagine how big the UK is, how many towns and cities there are, how many shops, how many shopping centres, my instinct, whilst that's a sad number, is that's not a huge amount. It didn't feel surprising to me. You know, when you just consider sort of the total size of the UK and, you know, and all the towns and cities and you know, villages and hamlets up and down there littered with shops, you know, over an accumulated period over a year, that, you know, amounts to several thousand. But, you know, we shouldn't be surprised. That's where we're going at the moment, isn't it?
Well, we're certainly moving a different direction. Yes, lockdown certainly accelerated that, and depending on whose views you go through and who you listen to and so forth. No, Andrew, I didn't even explain your background. I said 25 plus years. You've worked, for me, the big name you've worked with and is Boxpark. And in fact, Boxpark have been in the news. I don't know if you saw it, I think today or yesterday.
Yes.
They're always a growing company. You know, Roger's done extremely well with Boxpark. And making it, I was going to say, a unique brand. I don't know if unique is the correct word. Some people have tried to copy what he's done as well.
Yeah.
And you said to me, it's not necessarily that easy to copy what he's done because of his unique characteristics himself.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's right. I mean, you know, Roger comes, and you're right. I did on my last company. I was tasked with finding sites for Boxpark, and I managed to find their Wembley sites. But you know what? Is it unique? I mean, when they opened in 2012, it was right at the forefront, and I still think they are, you know, avant-garde. I still think they are, you know, cutting edge. But I think the high street now and the entrepreneurs which will come through to fill the gaps will, you know, perhaps take Boxpark as a model, but come up with their own as well. So I expect we're going to see quite a lot of exciting new initiatives come through to complement Boxpark. But yeah, you know, Roger, who runs it, is you know, he's a fascinating character. He's lively, interesting, good to hang around, and he's got a good feeling of what makes an environment and an event. Whereas if you put the same concept in the hands of a more, you know, sort of typical dry landlord and ask them to create the same experience, they may well struggle. So, you know, Boxpark, it's the man behind it as much as the event, it's, you know, as the stadium itself, so to speak. It's the curation of the experience which is so vital and which works so well for Boxpark. And in the hands of a dry institution, you know, with the right person, you know, making it a lively scene, then it's just not going to have the same kind of appeal to it, really.
So you were discussing with me yesterday about deals, and one reason why you think you're attracting more deals with commercial agents. Do you want to elaborate on that? Because of course, deals are one side of the equation, funding is another side as well. Do you want to just elaborate on the deals and why you think you're attracting more deals than potentially some other developers?
Yeah, well, I'm seeing more for sure, and I've been in the commercial market for years. I being a commercial agent, I have been for 25 years. I'd like to think I know how to speak the language and how to deal with them. But I do get and I pick up on all the frustration which many SME developers have with commercial agents about not getting their time or respect or attention or feedback, and I sympathise with that. And obviously, you and I had a discussion yesterday about our each and own individual personal brands and how you present yourself to people for them to want to engage with you and take you seriously. As I say to people, that when a commercial agent is talking to a potential new applicant or a buyer of property, at each touch point and interaction, they're qualifying that person, because they when they make a recommendation to their client as to whether that person is a good potential buyer of property, they've made up in their mind, the commercial agent, or have a good opinion in their mind as to whether they're going to be recommending somebody who can complete on the transaction. So each time somebody talks to a commercial agent, they've got to be sure that they're putting themselves across in the best way that they can to let them know that the property transaction is going to be solid, secure, not a pain in the backside, and ultimately going to happen. So I think people just need to think about, or put themselves in the commercial agent's position when they're talking to the commercial agent, to work out what that commercial agent wants to hear, so that they can then go back and recommend you as a potential buyer of a property. And I quite often get the impression that SME developers and investors and people new to the game just bulldoze in and don't really think about how they're coming across to the agent. An agent really doesn't want to go under offer on a property and wait 2 months for it to have bought and then have to start again. They want to get the deal done quickly for their clients and for themselves. So it really is a key skill to be able to learn how to engage with an agent and to put yourself across professionally and in an extent that they're going to be happy to put you forward as somebody they support.
Andrew, so I was just thinking, Credo Living is a way, in certain respects, how some people who have partnered up with you have almost fast-tracked or accelerated by the partnership. Now, obviously, some people may be thinking, look, we could partner, we could try to find commercial agents who are entrepreneurial. How easy is that? That's one way of doing it. So replicating the Credo Living model, or maybe just speaking more of the jargon of how you speak to commercial agents. What do you think the takeaways from your presentation will be? And feel free to answer that question about how easy or hard has it been for Credo Living to get off the ground as well?
Well, anything new in property takes a while to get off the ground. I often talk about property moving at the pace of continental drift. So, and segueing a little bit, I'm pleased with the amount of prop tech which is infiltrated the market to speed things along. But we got Credo Living at set up at the back end of last year. We started at the beginning of this year in earnest. And we're now getting regular deal flow and making consistent offers. So what are we, 6 or 8 months in, or 8 months in, aren't we? And our ball is rolling, but there's a frustrating period of starting any new business, wanting it to go quicker. So Yeah, we're partnering with a firm of architects. It gives our investors the confidence that we've got a good skill set on board. They're benefiting from our marketing and the deals we're going to bring for them to get involved with. And we just think it just provides a more intelligent platform for investors and also for agents and landowners that we're dealing with, to let them know that we're a proper company with all the backing and background that we need to transact effectively. But I left my corporate job to set up Tandem Real Estate, which is my commercial agency, and part of the reason was because that gives me the flexibility to run Credo Living as well. So a lot of people who are in salary jobs taking a pay and such like don't necessarily have the time to dedicate it if their day job is to broker commercial property deals. So that's part of the reason why I set up Tandem Real Estate, to give myself that flexibility. But working with commercial agents, it does take thought. And I'll talk about this on the 30th. As a developer, and a new start, you want good, consistent deal flow, and a commercial agent is a good person to bring you that if they think you're going to transact. So I'd really recommend trying to work out how to present yourself as best you can to them, and get a consistent, stable and reliable stable of agents who'll help you out.
I look forward to seeing you on 30th of this month, September, along with Peter Higginbottom of Planning Insight, and also a new prop tech company, not focused on commercial, focused on residential. So that's coming up, as I say, on the 30th of September. So thank you.
Looking forward to it.